The unexpected hero. At Oakwood High, everyone knew about the rivalry between two groups of students. The Sparrows were the quiet and smart kids, and the Tigers were the popular athletes. Sarah belonged to the Sparrows. She loved reading and spent most of her time in the library. James, on the other hand, was the captain of the Tigers. He was confident, strong, and popular, but deep down, he felt misunderstood. Sarah often watched James from afar. She didn't understand why someone so talented seemed distant and sometimes sad. James, on the other hand, noticed how Sarah always smiled kindly at everyone, even though her friends teased her about being quiet. One day, a big event was announced at school. There was going to be a competition between the Sparrows and the Tigers, a relay race. Everyone got excited. Sarah hated sports, but her friends convinced her to join. "We need you," they said, even though they knew she wasn't a runner. The Tigers, of course, were confident they would win. The day of the race arrived, and the air was filled with excitement. Both teams stood on the field, ready to prove themselves. Sarah felt nervous, her heart beating fast, but she stayed because she didn't want to disappoint her friends. James stood on the opposite side, leading the Tigers. He saw Sarah and felt a strange tug in his chest. He had always seen her as the shy, quiet girl, but today she looked determined. The race started. The Tigers immediately took the lead, and the Sparrows fell behind. Sarah waited for her turn, knowing she would be the last runner. Her team counted on her, even though she was the weakest link. As her moment came closer, she felt a lump in her throat. "What if I fail?" she thought. When it was finally Sarah's turn, the Tigers were far ahead. Everyone thought the Sparrows had no chance, but then something surprising happened. As Sarah took the baton, she saw James slow down. He was far ahead, but he seemed to wait. Sarah ran as fast as she could, her legs trembling. She knew she couldn't catch up, but she tried anyway. James, seeing Sarah give everything she had, suddenly stopped running altogether. The crowd gasped. "What is he doing?" people murmured. Sarah passed him, shocked and confused. She crossed the finish line with a pounding heart. The Sparrows won the race, but no one celebrated immediately. All eyes were on James. James walked up to Sarah, breathless but calm. "You deserve to win," he said simply, his eyes full of sincerity. The entire school was stunned. Why had the Tigers' captain, who never lost, given up the race? Later that day, rumors flew around the school. Some said James had done it to impress Sarah, others thought he was tired of the rivalry. But Sarah knew the truth when James found her alone by the library. "I'm tired of pretending," he admitted. "Everyone expects me to be perfect, to always win. But I wanted to show that strength isn't always about winning. Sometimes, it's about letting others shine." Sarah smiled, understanding him more now. "Thank you," she said softly. That day, an unexpected friendship blossomed between the two of them. Over the next few weeks, they spent more time together. James helped Sarah with running, and Sarah taught James to enjoy books. They came from different worlds, but they found common ground. As time passed, the school's atmosphere began to change. The rivalry between the Sparrows and the Tigers softened. Students started mixing more, and friendships formed across old boundaries. It wasn't perfect, but it was better. But not everyone was happy. Some of James's old friends felt betrayed. "You let us down," one of them said angrily. James stayed calm and simply walked away. He knew that standing up for what he believed in was more important than being popular. In the middle of all this, Sarah faced her own struggles. One day, she found a note in her locker. It said, "You'll never belong here." Her heart sank. Someone still didn't accept the new friendships forming in the school. It hurt, but she kept the note to herself, not wanting to worry James or her friends. A week later, there was a big event at the school, a talent show. Sarah decided to join and recite a poem she had written. She was terrified, but felt it was time to show who she truly was. When the night of the talent show arrived, Sarah stood on stage, her hands shaking. As she looked out at the crowd, she saw James sitting in the front row, smiling encouragingly. Sarah took a deep breath and began. As she spoke, she noticed something strange. In the back of the room, someone was filming her with a camera, laughing quietly. It was one of James's old friends. Suddenly, the lights flickered and went out. The room was filled with darkness and confusion. Sarah felt her heart race. Had someone done this on purpose? A voice shouted from the back, "It's over for the Sparrows!" Panic spread in the room, but James stood up. "No one is better than anyone here," he said firmly. The lights came back on, and James walked to the stage. He stood next to Sarah and said, "We're all equal. It's time this school understood that." The crowd applauded, and Sarah felt a surge of confidence. She finished her poem, and to her surprise, she won the talent show. From that moment, everything changed. The school no longer had clear lines between groups. The old rivalries faded, and everyone started supporting each other. As for Sarah and James, their friendship grew stronger every day. They remained close, even after they graduated. In the end, Sarah realized that it wasn't just about winning or losing. It was about standing up for what was right and finding true friends along the way. And the note in Sarah's locker? She never found out who wrote it, but it didn't matter anymore. She had already won something more important: respect and the courage to be herself. Weeks passed after the talent show. Oakwood High felt different, more united. The tension between the Sparrows and the Tigers seemed to fade, but some old rivalries lingered in the shadows. Sarah and James had grown closer, spending their afternoons at the library or on the track field. James helped Sarah train, and in return, she introduced him to her favorite books. Their friendship blossomed, though whispers of something more circled the school. But not everyone was happy with the new atmosphere. A group of students, once loyal to James, felt left behind. The leader of the group, Max, had been James's best friend for years, but ever since the race, things had changed. Max watched as James distanced himself from the Tigers and grew closer to the Sparrows. He didn't understand why his friend would give up everything they had built. The frustration festered inside him, and Max began to plan something drastic. One Friday afternoon, Sarah found another note in her locker. This time, it wasn't a message of hate, but a warning. "Beware of Max. He's planning something at the end-of-year event." Sarah's hands shook as she read the note. She wasn't sure if it was a prank or something more serious, but she couldn't ignore it. She knew Max had been acting strangely ever since the race. Instead of telling anyone, she decided to keep an eye on him and watch what unfolded. The end-of-year event was the biggest celebration at Oakwood High. It was a tradition. Students from all grades came together for a final party in the school gym. There were performances, awards, and of course, the announcement of next year's student leaders. Sarah felt uneasy as the event drew closer. She hadn't told James about the note. She didn't want to worry him or make things worse. But deep down, she knew something was coming. On the night of the event, the gym was decorated with twinkling lights, and students filled the room, laughing and talking. Sarah stood by the punch bowl, scanning the crowd for Max. She hadn't seen him all night, but her stomach twisted with anxiety. James found her, sensing her nervousness. "Are you okay?" he asked, his eyes filled with concern. "I'm fine," Sarah lied. "I just have a bad feeling about tonight." James didn't push her further. Instead, he stayed close, keeping an eye on the crowd as well. The night continued with no sign of trouble, and Sarah began to relax. Maybe the note had been a prank after all. But then, as the awards ceremony started, the lights in the gym flickered again, just like they had at the talent show. Suddenly, the fire alarm rang out, filling the gym with a loud, piercing sound. Panic spread through the crowd as students rushed towards the exits. But the doors were locked. Sarah's heart raced as she realized this wasn't an accident. Someone had planned this. James grabbed Sarah's hand. "Stay close," he said, his voice steady. We'll figure this out. As the students grew more frantic, Max appeared at the front of the gym, holding a microphone. "Attention, everyone!" he shouted. His voice echoed through the chaos. "This is what happens when people like James betray their friends." The room fell silent. Max's eyes burned with anger as he glared at James, who still held Sarah's hand tightly. "You abandoned us, James. You chose them over us. Now you'll see what happens." Max pressed a button on a small remote in his hand, and suddenly smoke began to pour into the gym from the vents. The crowd screamed, but James remained calm. "Everyone, stay low!" he shouted, leading Sarah and a group of students to a corner of the gym where the smoke was thinner. James turned to Sarah. "We need to stop him." Together, they moved through the smoke-filled room, trying to stay hidden as they approached Max. Sarah's heart pounded in her chest. She wasn't sure what they could do, but she knew they had to try. When they reached Max, James stepped forward. "Max, stop this," he said firmly. "You don't have to do this. We can fix things." Max shook his head. "It's too late, James. You broke our trust." James didn't back down. "I didn't betray you. I just chose what was right. You're still my friend, Max. This doesn't have to end like this." For a moment, Max hesitated. His grip on the remote loosened, and the anger in his eyes softened. But then, one of Max's followers stepped forward, urging him to finish what he started. "Don't listen to him, Max. He doesn't care about us anymore." Sarah knew she had to act quickly. While James kept talking, she inched closer to Max. With one swift motion, she grabbed the remote from his hand and threw it across the room. Max looked stunned, as if he couldn't believe what had just happened. The doors to the gym suddenly burst open, and teachers rushed in, leading the students to safety. The smoke began to clear, and Max stood frozen, realizing his plan had failed. James approached Max, placing a hand on his shoulder. "It's over, Max. Let's end this rivalry for good." Max looked down, tears welling in his eyes. "I just didn't want to lose you as a friend," he whispered. James nodded. "You haven't. We can still be friends, but this needs to stop." The next day, the school was buzzing with rumors about what had happened at the event. Max was suspended, but James visited him at home to talk things through. It took time, but their friendship slowly began to heal. Max apologized to Sarah and to the rest of the school, and in return, the students forgave him. As for Sarah and James, their bond grew even stronger. They continued to challenge each other, learn from each other, and support one another. Sarah's confidence grew with every day, and James found peace in being true to himself. The rivalry between the Sparrows and Tigers faded completely, replaced by a sense of unity among all the students. On the last day of school, Sarah found one final note in her locker. But this time, it wasn't a threat or a warning. It simply said, "Thank you for being brave." She smiled, knowing that no matter who had written it, the message wasn't just for her. It was for everyone who had stood up for what was right. The journey had been full of challenges, but in the end, they had all learned that friendship, hope, and standing together were the most important things of all. And as they walked away from Oakwood High for the last time, Sarah and James knew that whatever the future held, they would face it together.